They received an invitation to talk about their moment in this world. They didn't know what to expect.
Someone asked me the other day, why is United Way doing this? My name is Leslie Scarce. I'm the president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Chattanooga. We cannot solve community problems if the world is splintering off, right? If we're not coming together and rolling up our sleeves to get this work done and solving these problems. So that is why we're here.
My name is Summer Ali. I'm the president and CEO of Millions of Conversations.
As a person who grew up as a Palestinian, Syrian, Muslim, American, Southern, rural woman, people a lot of times will say I'm a walking controversy, a walking contradiction. Millions of Conversations is about bringing Americans together around common values for a shared future.
Now, I've had the privilege of leading the United Way for 7.5 years. We have led and served through crises. I have seen this community come together in the most extraordinary ways.
We are a great example to other communities on what it looks like to come together in a crisis. The issue is, why does it always take a crisis for us to come together?
Hamilton County, we are the top 25% fastest growing economies. But at the same time, we are in the bottom 10% in the nation for economic mobility.
We had people who were coming at things from different angles.
You're trying to tell us what to do, but look at all of this brokenness.
I hear all the time people will say, you know, violence is inevitable. You have a choice. If you disagree with somebody, you get to choose if you want to punch them in the face or not.
Hate doesn't have to be the flavor of the day.
Do I want to go down that bitter, cold road? Or do I want to go down the joyful one? To work through the suffering, not to be blind to it, but to say, I'm going to work through this moment.
In a world that is full of just yuckiness, there needed to be a sense of belonging.
We had someone at our table mention that he's learned through his community to first seek to understand, then to be understood.
I studied the hate industrial complex, and that is people using fear and hate to drive division and to profit from conflict.
We seem to go more toward conflict in people than the compromise.
It's easy to be afraid to build bridges. It's easy to think, I don't want to compromise my core beliefs. Are you asking me to do that?
You don't have to compromise your beliefs. That said, you do have to compromise, but not your beliefs.
Let's just try to find common ground. The way to do that is just to listen first.
We are being unapologetic at the United Way about bringing people together.
It's about helping us understand who Chattanooga is and what we love about Chattanooga and the values that we've taken from this community.
The greatest solutions that we have come from all of us together and really the values that we share.
Ubuntu, which is a Kosan word that means I am me because of you, you are you because of me. It's that connectivity, it's that heart of community.
We all have something to bring to the table because of our differences.
We can evolve around seeing each other differently and seeing each other's humanity.
We're going to take things in a different direction, having peace as an option, having hope as an option.
The only way to do it is if we genuinely believe in each other's welfare and we genuinely come together.
We need to be curious about each other's views, about how we're coming to these conclusions that we're reaching. Join in conversation about it.
One particular guest, as she was leaving, said, I met so many new people and people listened to what I had to say. That's when I almost started to cry because I thought, okay, mission accomplished.
What is the best defense mechanism to somebody who is trying to use fear, who is trying to provoke hatred in a community? Well, you know what it is? It's joy. What I feel is embedded in our culture is many times when we do admit that we have done wrong, we are willing to say, how do we make tomorrow better than where we are today?
Being able to look back and understand some of the things we could have done a little bit better and just being able to have open, honest dialogue, for me, that brings a lot of hope.
We have to be so intentional in today's day and age to build hope. You don't just get it. You don't just have it.
This table just came up with a lot of ideas for us to try. And everybody had hope that all these things can be achieved easily.
What are you hopeful for?
I think about how can the world be better tomorrow.
I popped by a few tables and I could hear deep conversation happening.
I think people really saw themselves in the stories that were shared.
What are those values you think we as a Chattanooga community need to be practicing more often?
You say that this is important, Say that it's important to you in this conversation, in this boardroom, in this gallery. Be in that heart space in every community.
It starts by literally changing our actions towards one another in a really simple but powerful way.
I'm a believer in humanity that can evolve when there is more one-on-one connections and when there's community that's built around it. We've seen this countless times happen, not only here in the United States, but in other parts of the world.
It was a wonderful opportunity to bring the tools from the realms of international mediation into local communities and work with great local leaders to help them do better.
One of the deepest indicators of economic mobility is actually the strength of connectedness and friendship.
We think about upward mobility. It's a part of the American dream. That's a part of that concept that also relates into people feeling secure.
Chattanooga is an amazing city.
This community has the potential to be a model for the world right now.
There's really strong leadership in this community.
There's something going on here that, and there's a willingness to explore conversation in brave and courageous ways that the world needs to see and be inspired by in order to also do the same.
The United Way of Greater Chattanooga and Millions of Conversations are bringing an 8-part conversation series.
Every quarter for the next 2 years, we're going to be having conversations about how we bring Americans together around common values for a shared future.
The impact of this series is that people are going to start to open their eyes to the issues that face our neighbors and really start to see what's beyond themselves.
Community and family is everything. We need to love each other.